Once upon a time, but not long ago, I was a hoe. CandaceLLC. Yo, it's your girl Candace Lene, and I am back with another video. So guys, I just thought about something and I wanted to do something different. Instead of just giving y'all all these hair reviews and doing all this other stuff, I am going to start, well, I ain't gonna say I'm gonna start it, but today I'm gonna give you guys a story time, as you can see in the title. So I am going to talk about my 18 and pregnant story a little bit. Okay, yeah, I got my little blanket because I'm about to get real personal or whatever. Okay, so, all right. It all began when I was, it was my junior summer. So I was going into being a senior, obviously. Y'all, what is going on with this here curl? Okay, so it was July 4th, 2010. And I was downtown to see the fireworks. And I was with my friend. And she was like, I want to introduce you to my best friend. And I was like, best friend look a little good over there, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So she was like, okay, well, let me introduce y'all. And I was like, I'm really shy. Well, I'm not as shy as I once was, but I am still very shy during certain times, I guess. And so when she wanted to introduce me, I was kind of like, no, don't look at me because I hate rejection. And if you don't like me, then I might cry. But no, so he came up and he saw me, and we're going to call him Kashawn. We're just going to call him Kashawn. Okay, so Kashawn came up to me and he was like, hey, what's your name? How old are you? You know, did the whole little spiel or whatever. And I was like, hi, my name is Candace, blah, 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 blah. So fast forward, later that night, it was a big group of us. It was a lot of us. It was probably like 10 of us. And my little brother was with me as well. And so we walked down to the canal, and we had this one friend that was driving. So the friend that I was with, it was her cousin. So he was driving, and I mean, it was like 10 of us, and there was only one car. So obviously that means it was about to be some lap sitting and some on the floor sitting and a whole bunch of other sitting that was illegal. So when I climbed in, I was like, well, I'm not going to sit on my brother's lap. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and sit on Kashawn's lap. So I went ahead and sat on his lap, and we end up driving somewhere. I think I was meeting up with my older brother and his girlfriend so we could go home. So ended up getting dropped off, but while I was sitting in the car, we exchanged phone numbers and did all that or whatever. And so I get home, whatever, you know, and we start texting. The very next day, he said he wanted to see me. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, you can come out here, you know, and we can just kick it for a little bit or whatever. So he came out there, and then like it became a everyday thing. It was like, I want to see you today. 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 And so like it became literally every day. So we started obviously getting closer and doing all that. I think so we met July 4th. I think he has this tatted on him. So I believe the date that we actually got together was July 23rd, because I remember him saying, I'm going to wait until your birthday to ask you to be mine, which my birthday is September 23rd. So he couldn't wait. He couldn't hold off because your girl's so great. He wanted me to be his right away. So, you know, so he ended up just making it on my birth, you know, the date of it versus waiting all the way until September. So yeah, I believe it was September or July 23rd. So shortly after, obviously we start school and stuff, and he starts picking me up from school, and we start just hanging out. Like, we definitely lived on two opposite sides of town. Like, I'm on the west side, he on the east side. Like, he was doing some driving, okay? Some serious driving. So, you know, we started kicking it more and stuff like that. And my parents are very, very strict. Well, they were very, very strict when it came to me. I was the only girl in the family or whatever. Y'all, my hands is ashy. Oh, well. But yeah, so they were very strict. They didn't like me going anywhere with guys. They wouldn't allow me to be with guys unless I was I wouldn't even say unless I was in the house, because sometimes I would ask them if I could have someone come over, and if it was a guy, they'd tell me no. Even if I was sitting in the front room, because, you know, ain't no bedroom door closed, none of that going on, okay? So, they didn't even really allow that. But, like, this guy, Kashawn, they allowed it. He had his own car, and by the time I was a senior, I didn't even have my license. So he had his own car and stuff, and he, you know, he had a job and everything. Like, he was doing a thing, you feel me? And so it was they were allowing me to go places with him. So I was getting picked up from school and going to hang out with him at his house, and then coming back a little later, you know, doing what teenagers do, you know, a whole lot of nothing, just driving around. But yeah, so as we got closer, we started doing the do. The do. And so I remember it was like around my birthday. Let's just say it was a little after my birthday. And well, no, it was before my birthday, where he told me, like, I was his first love, his first girlfriend that got to meet the family and all that. So, like, he started really falling for me, like, you know, real heavy or whatever. And so he got to telling me how he wanted to marry me and how he wanted me to have his kids. And, you know, I had just turned 18, so it was like, okay, surely you don't mean that right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, we in high school, like, this is our last year. We gotta go to college. We got stuff to do. Like, boo, okay, that sounds cool and all, but can we wait, you know? So, come to find out, sus, he meant right now. He meant right now. He was not playing. He was not waiting. He wanted a child by me at that moment. Okay, so it was shortly after my birthday, and I remember we did it, and he didn't live at home at the time. He was living with a friend. And so when we got in the car and he was taking me home, he said, you know, I did that, right? And let me tell you guys, I was not very experienced when it came to sex. Like, it just wasn't my thing. And so I didn't know much about it. I didn't know. My parents, like I said, they were very strict. So they didn't even give the safe sex talk. It was kind of just like, don't do it. Because I come from a very, what do you call it? Biblical Christian family. So it was just like, don't do it. They didn't tell you what to do if you do, or this can happen. It was literally, leave it alone. Don't think about it. Don't look at it. It was that. So, you know, so when I did, so when he told me he had did it, and I was like, he was like, you know, I did that, right? And I was like, did what? And he was like, I did that. And I was like, what are you saying? I'm not understanding what you're saying to me right now. And he was like, yeah, you're gonna be pregnant. And I was like, oh, surely no, I'm not. Boy, quit playing with me. I ain't having your kids right now. Like, bro, we are too young. And mind you, by this point, I'm older than him by a couple months, 3 months. 3 months. So my birthday's in September, and his is in December. Ugh. So at this point, I'm the only one that's 18. And I'm like, bruh, no, we're not taking this road. We're not doing this. So come to find out, shortly after, I indeed was pregnant. And I did not know what to do. I did not know what to think. I was lost. I was shook. I was like, wow, he really did that. So it came time for me to tell my mom, and I think I waited until December because I remember it being right before Christmas, and I remember his mom telling me, if you don't tell her, I will. And I was like, no. You cannot tell her, because if you tell her, then I'm gonna be in even more trouble because she didn't hear it from me. So let me go tell my mother, okay? So him and his mom are really close, so it was easy for him to break it down to his mom versus me breaking it down to my mom. Like, we don't really have a relationship. It's kind of just like, that's my mom, you know. So it was definitely harder for me. But I remember it was on a Sunday, and it was after church, and we had already had Sunday dinner, and it was just me and my mom and my dad, and we were sitting in the family room, and we were watching TV. And then I had just got up and I went to the room, and this was me planning. I was like, this is how I'm gonna tell my mom. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna call her into the room, and I'm just gonna tell her. I'm not gonna worry about telling my dad. I'm just gonna tell her. And so that's what I did. I called my mom into the room, and I was like, Mommy, I have something to tell you. And she was like, you pregnant? I knew it. I knew it. You know, out here being fast and da-da-da-da-da and woo. And I was like, how'd you know? I could have said I had a headache. Like, what? Like, how'd you know that I was going to say that? You know what I'm saying? So she already knew. She got to fussing and yelling, I got to find you a doctor. I got to do this and I got to do that and woo-doo-woo-doo-woo-doo. And I was like, that didn't go as planned. Alrighty then. So, after she knew, it was a breeze though. You know, like, I didn't have to hide it anymore. It was kind of like a relief was lifted off my shoulders. It was like, whew, okay, I can live normal now. She knows. So going to school being pregnant was not difficult. I actually didn't begin to show until I was like around 7 months. I was really small. I was probably like 110, 115 pounds when I got pregnant. So it was it took a while before I actually started to show. And I have to see if I can find some pictures. I didn't take very many pictures when I was pregnant because I was actually embarrassed. You know, I didn't really get to enjoy my pregnancy the way that I would have liked to, just because I was so young and I didn't want to post anything. I didn't want people saying anything about me. I didn't, you know, with me going to church and being in church, girl, these curls are like done over here. Like, what is going on? Whatever. But yeah, so, you know, I didn't want people talking about me and doing all that good stuff. So, yeah, I actually walked the stage pregnant. I was 8 months pregnant when I got my diploma. I was then starting to show a lot by that point. Yeah, I was starting to show. I do have some pictures from my graduation that I can insert in here somewhere. She was sitting very weird on the day that I graduated. Like, I mean, my stomach was like poking, and I'm like, girl, what is you doing, sis? What is you doing? You messing up my whole pictures and everything. But my pregnancy was very, very easy. Like, I had 0 complications, 0. So I never missed school. I had a very easy pregnancy, and I'm very grateful for that, because I could have definitely missed so many days that I didn't graduate on time and stuff like that. But very easy pregnancy. I did not have morning sickness. I didn't have any pains. I didn't have anything. Like, she was very easy. So when it came time to have this little baby girl of mine, She was due July 29th. She did not come until August 2nd. She was stubborn, very, very stubborn. I remember I was supposed to go to the doctor on like Wednesday to get induced, and they told me that I was going to they ended up calling me on a Monday, and they were like, yeah, your doctor's gonna be out of town, but she wants to deliver this baby before she leaves, so you should probably come in tomorrow. And y'all, let me tell y'all, my bags were already packed because I was ready. I was ready to have this baby. I was like, I'm over being pregnant. It got way too uncomfortable towards the end to sleep. And I was like, I'm over this. I just want to have this baby and have her here. So my bag was already packed. What I included in my bag was plenty of pajamas, my own panties, because yeah, obviously my own panties. I mean, who other panties would I have? What? Okay, anyway, so pajamas, panties. I had a lot of fuzzy socks because I don't really care for hospital socks, so I packed my own fuzzy socks. I had a couple outfits for her, but I really just packed onesies for the most part, besides her going home outfit. And then I had, what else did I have? I had my pads. I had blankets in there for her. I had not too much other than that, I don't believe. It's probably about it. So yeah, and so getting induced on that Tuesday, or was it a Monday? It was a Monday, actually. It was a Monday, so I'm tripping. So the phone call must have went something like, I know you were supposed to come in on Tuesday to be able to have the baby on Wednesday, but we need you to come in on Monday so you can have the baby by Tuesday. So I think that's what happened. So when they called me on Monday, I think they were asking, can you come in so we can get this party started, basically is what they were asking, if I'm not mistaken. So my heart started beating so fast. I was like, I was ready. I was prepared for going on Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever day it was, because that's what we had already discussed at my appointments. But to call me and bump up my time, I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. So I'm calling Kashawn and I'm like, hey Kashawn, we're about to have a baby. Like, I'm going to the hospital, I'm getting induced and all this and all this. This man calls up his whole family as if I was literally about to have that baby right then, as if my water had broke or something, and it did not. She literally did not want to come out. So yeah, so I get there or whatever, and I did get induced. I also got the epidural. I had two epidurals because when I got there, first I didn't want to take it. I didn't want to have the epidural done at all, but I wasn't in terrible pain, but it was enough pain to keep me from sitting still. And they needed me to sit still because they needed to monitor the baby. So I was like, they were like, we're gonna need to give you something so you can calm down. Like, the more you move, the more we can't monitor her. And it's making it pretty difficult. We wanna make sure that everything's okay with her. We wanna make sure everything's okay with you. So can we just give you the epidural? And I was like, fine, because at this point I'm sleepy, I'm tired, and I am kind of in some kind of discomfort. I wasn't like, oh my God, but it was just kind of like, okay, it's, you know, just being on your period, regular cramps is what it felt like to me. So they ended up giving me the epidural, and I ended up going to sleep. And when I woke up, they were like, okay, so we need to check your cervix to see if you're dilated or how far along you're dilated. Because actually when I got to the hospital, I had been dilated for 1 centimeter for a whole month. I was walking and I was doing everything. And that just shows you how stubborn this little girl was. She just did not want to come out. I don't know what it was. But so yeah, I was already 1 centimeter dilated. So they were trying to see how much further I had got into being dilated or whatever. So when they checked, I was still 1. And they were like, okay, you know, no worries. We'll go ahead and let you still chill out, and eventually you'll be ready to have this baby soon. We can't say how soon, but soon enough. And I'm like, okay, you know, so I'm just chilling. I couldn't eat anything, so I was eating a lot of ice chips and Jello, I believe I could have. So I was starving, and it was about, let's see, I think I went to sleep with that epidural. I think it had gone into the night because I think I had to be at the hospital by 6 p.m. So by this time, it's already bedtime. Like, it's time to go to sleep and stuff. So when I wake up, I remember the pain started to come back. And I was like, oh, no, no, no. No, no, we can't have this. So I end up getting another epidural by 11 a.m. Yeah, it was 11 a.m. And then by that point, getting an epidural is very shocking for your child, I guess you can say, and your body, period. So with me getting an epidural, another one, it was messing with my daughter's heart rate. So her heart rate was going up and down, and it was just going all over the place. And so then they were getting nervous, and they had to really, really monitor her at that point, and monitor me too, because my heart was doing the same. So at this point, I'm still not ready to push yet. So I think by this point I was only 6 centimeters, and they were telling me that if they come in and check again within like the next 2 hours, I believe is what they said, that I was gonna have to end up getting a C-section. I was like, no way, Jose. No, I am not getting a C-section. I didn't know anything about a C-section. I didn't read into it. I didn't want to. I said, I'm doing natural. So in my mind, I said, I am having this baby natural. I'm not doing nobody's C-section. So, you know, coming from the Christian family that I'm in, I said my prayers and I went to sleep. I said, Lord, I'm putting it in your hands, and I'm going to go to sleep. And when I wake up, it's going to be time to push. And that is exactly what happened. When I went to sleep, I got up, and by this time, it's probably about 12:50 something. And so they checked me, and they're like, yeah, it's time to push. Did I say 11 p.m. when I said I got my epidural? Because it was definitely 11 a.m. And so yeah, so it was 12:50 p.m. by the time they checked me again. And they were like, yep, it's time to push. And I was like, yeah, I knew it. I knew I was having this baby natural. You had me messed up. So yeah, so then they started setting up everything, you know, they got to get ready. And I began to push. So y'all, let me tell y'all how difficult, well, I can't really explain to y'all how difficult it is to push after you just got an epidural. So what, that epidural I had for 2 hours, and it hadn't worn off yet. So when it was time for me to push, or like an hour and some change really. So by the time it was time for me to push, I couldn't feel a thing. I was limp. I was done. Okay, so they're like, push, we can see her head, push. And I'm like, They're like, yeah, keep pushing. I'm like, Meanwhile, Kashawn was supposed to be letting me know when to push. He was supposed to be watching the monitor for my contractions and all that. Instead, this man was sitting on his phone calling up all his friends and his people to let them know that his baby was on the way. Yeah, so I got his mama on one side and my mama on the other side holding my legs, and then me not knowing when to push because he's not telling me when to push. So then I'm just kind of, I'm freestyling. I'm just doing my own thing basically. And so finally, as I think I'm pushing her head out, and they're like, yeah, we can see her hair. Keep going. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna keep going. So come to find out, guys, I was not pushing anything. I wasn't doing anything. Nothing was happening. My child was not coming out. She was in there just chilling because I couldn't push as hard as I thought I was because I was so numb. So I ended up being cut open to be able to get the suction to suction her out, which also is a shock to your baby. So when my baby came out, usually the mom is, you know, they ask you if you want to hold the baby as soon as the baby come out, if you want the baby placed on your chest, which yes, of course I did. So when they got her out, they put her on my chest all of for like 2 seconds, and they rushed her to the table, and they called the code red, code blue, code, I don't even know what code it was, but basically my baby wasn't breathing. And I honestly think that had to do with her being suctioned out. She wasn't ready for that. That was a shock. It was like, whoa, what just happened? So she was not breathing, and now at this point I'm crying, I'm all over the place, I don't know what's going on. No one's saying anything, because when stuff like that happens, they talk amongst each other, but they don't really tell you what's going on, because it's like they're just trying to hurry up and make sure stuff is getting done. So they're just talking, and I'm like, what's going on? What is it? So by this point I didn't notice that I was cut open. While all this is going on, apparently my OB is down there stitching me up, and it was so much going on and I was so drugged up that I didn't even notice her there. I didn't even know that she had done that. It wasn't until I had to use the restroom that I was like, oh, that hurt real bad. But yeah, so I didn't remember being stitched, and when I went to wipe, that was another situation, okay? That was no fun. But my baby girl obviously did make it. They were able to bring her back and get her breathing together. Come here, little girl. My baby is now 7 years old, and she looks kind of a mess, guys. We're just chilling in the house today, so she's done her makeup and she tried to do her hair and stuff like that. But yes, my baby is 7 years old now, and I will say that being a teen mom wasn't as hard as everybody tried to make it seem. Once I got home, it was perfectly fine. I breastfed her for 3 years, so definitely saved a lot of money there. She never used formula. I tried to give her formula one time, and she was not having it. I tried to give her cereal, that's what it was, the baby cereal, and she was not having it. So she's been a booby girl. She still loves the boobies. She doesn't breastfeed anymore, obviously, but she definitely sticks her hand in there. But yeah, like she was definitely she definitely is my biggest blessing. And honestly, I do not regret anything that happened to me to be able to be here with my baby today. She is definitely the sweetest little girl ever. She is, y'all, when I tell y'all, she is just truly amazing. She very obedient, very, I don't even know. She's very I don't know. She's just so great. I don't even know how to describe her, but she is really a blessing to me. It actually helped me through a lot. You know, it was just what God wanted me to have, and with that, I took what I was dealt, you know. And I know you guys are going to ask, no, me and her father are not together anymore. We are cordial. We do speak from time to time about, you know, the baby. Well, she's not a baby anymore, but about our daughter. What is your name?
Riley.
Her name is Riley. And that's my 18 and pregnant story, guys. I don't really have much to say about it. Like I said, by the time that she was born, I was turning 19. So she was born in August. My birthday was in September, so I turned 19. I was graduated and all that good stuff. So I did go to school, to college. I went to college online for a short amount of time. It was very short-lived because of the situation, not because it was too hard to have her and to do homework and all that other stuff. It was honestly because of financial aid. They said that I didn't do something right and they dropped me from my classes. And when they dropped me from my classes, because they were online, that means I was going to have to redo every assignment that I had already done, plus catch up or keep up with what was going on in the class at that time. So it was just something that I was like, that's way too much to do. So that's something I skipped out on. And after that, I stayed at home with her for a year and a half before I started work. And ever since then, yeah, we've been good. I was living at home with my parents, obviously. So, you know, I didn't have much spending money, but I also it wasn't too much that she really needed besides the diapers and the wipes. So I did end up running a little kind of a daycare for my friends who also had kids. So that's how I got my money to take care of my baby. And yeah, you know, she's in 1st grade now, and it's a blessing, y'all. It's a blessing. And
guys, can I tell you something? And tomorrow I get to go to a birthday party.
She's made so many friends. She's the popular girl. Everybody loves Riley. She gets along with pretty much anyone. So when she goes to school, you know, they say that she's the popular one. Nothing like me, because I told you I was the shy one, but she's definitely her own person. But yeah, guys, that was my 18 and pregnant story. Now for teens that may be watching this, I know it may seem fun to have a little baby and dress them up and do all that, but it's really more than that. There's so much more that comes along with being a mom. And it's definitely, if I could have waited, I definitely would have waited, but I still wouldn't change anything that has happened to me. It was meant to happen, and so it did. But yeah, being a young mom it's not easy, but it's not hard. So you have to understand that you're hanging out with your friends is not gonna happen anymore. I mean, not to say that it won't happen, but I mean, at this point you have someone to care for. So you can't be going out every night or every weekend. You know, that time is slim with your friends now. And like for me, my mom told me that you have this baby, you take care of this baby. I'm not watching that baby unless you're going to work. So for me, whenever I want to do anything with my friends, I had to bring my daughter with me. She was always with me. And so, you know, that kind of made it hard for me to hang with my friends, always having to have her. So it's just like, you know, I became a real homebody. And even now I stay at home. I'm out the way and we chill out, don't we? We chill, and that's just how I am now. But yeah, I appreciate my mom for not taking care of my daughter for me, for actually making me step up and do what I had to do. That definitely helped me grow with being a mom and a person overall. But yeah, like I said, for the teens out there, don't try and purposely get pregnant, okay? Wait until you're ready. Wait until you're out of school and all that stuff. Being married would definitely help you because obviously you have a team at that point. But yeah, that's about all I gotta say, guys. And thank you for watching. If you have any other questions about being young and pregnant, go ahead and drop them down below. I will make sure that I will answer any of those questions. Yeah, 18 and pregnant, that was me. And now I'm 26 and she's 7 and living our best life. Hey. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you ring my bell so you can be notified every time I post a new video. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.